What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Word on the street is that Tyra Banks has officially blacklisted her former co-star Jay Manuel ever since he came out with his book and the massive press tour that has brought a lot of scrutiny towards Tyra Banks. Remember, Jay Manuel released his new book just the other day, it's called The Wig, The Btch and The Meltdown, and he's claiming that it's a fictional book that has some kind of inspiration from his time working for Tyra Banks on America's Next Top Model. But just based off a lot of the excerpts that have been dropping from the book, it sounds like it's a lot more on the truth side than fiction side, just based on corroborating stories that former models and former colleagues, even like, Nigel Barker, have said about their time working with Tyra Banks, and she is not taking too kindly to it. One of Jay's statements in particular drew a lot of criticism towards Tyra. He was talking about how many models, and himself included, were forced to participate in photo shoots that they didn't consent to, they didn't feel very comfortable consenting to, and especially in the current climate that we're in right now, that brought a lot of criticism, endless headlines. I believe Tyra even had to come out and publicly defend herself after all of that, and the list truly does go on. Anyway, according to Page 6, their source says that ever since Tyra Banks has heard about Jay Manuel's book and like his press tour about it, even straight up talking about her and the show, at one point he even claimed that she didn't let him quit America's Next Top Model when he tried. He said that after 8 seasons, he decided that he wanted to do something else with his life, and so he tried to talk to her about it, and all she said to him was, "I'm disappointed," those 2 simple words, and ended the conversations there, and then had her lawyers aggressively hound him down to continue to do at least one more cycle for them because they weren't able to find a proper replacement for him. Well, because so much of the book revolves around allegedly America's Next Top Model, Jay Manuel has tried to get some of his former colleagues from the show to help him on his press run promoting it, one of whom is Miss J. Apparently, Miss J was supposed to appear on Jay Manuel's Instagram Live so that they could talk, about their time on the show, a little bit about the book, etc., what they're doing in their lives now. But apparently, Miss J pulled out at the very last minute, and Page 6 is reporting that is because he received a phone call from Ms. Banks herself, and apparently he is not the only one. Page 6 is reporting that Tyra has called everybody who has worked on America's Next Top Model, and potentially even outside of the show, but with Jay Manuel, to stop and ask them to stop talking to Jay Manuel and not participate in any of his press runs for his book. So it sounds like she has effectively blacklisted Jay Manuel in an effort to stop this book from gaining the traction that it already had started out getting right out of the gate. Jay actually, of course he didn't plan it to drop at such a perfect time, but Tyra has been receiving a lot of flack, and personally I want to say I don't support really the flack that she's getting, because it's people judging her show, which is over 10 years old. What is it, like episodes that are 15 years old, based on today's current standards, and that's unfair because none of us can live up to the current standards that we have today. As a society, we're constantly evolving and moving forward and changing the definition of acceptable and unacceptable. So it's very disappointing to watch people demand apologies from a woman for stuff that happened 15 years ago. Is it really going to change your life if Tyra apologizes for something that never even personally affected you, that happened on her show maybe 15 years ago? I don't know. People were like, why did she force all these girls to go bald? Or why did she, these, I don't know. There's so many things that just are no longer relevant that people are hammering on. So the timing fit perfectly for Jay Manuel's book, because so many people are interested in the takedown of Tyra Banks based on things that happened over a decade ago. And so I think she is smart to put a lid on this, because honestly, I think anybody else would as well. I will say though that I am quite concerned for Jay Manuel, because I feel as though this blacklisting that she's kind of put out for him may extend beyond his book. So if he's aiming to continue working in fashion, I don't believe that Tyra is this ultimate gatekeeper who can definitively keep him out of everything, but I do believe that she's got enough pull to keep him out of enough things that it could begin to hurt his pockets. You know, one thing that I've always loved and admired so much about Tyra is that she has her hands in every pot. You know, she's producing, she's directing, she's writing, she does movies, televisions, hosting gigs. She truly does do it all. And so, you know, she's not just this America's Next Top Model host. She was the creator. She was the executive producer. She was the photographer. She was everything in there. So within like film, within fashion, like runway, print, like whatever you name it, she has her hands in those pots, and she's got close relationships in it because she's been in that industry for over 40 years and is an A-list name within that industry. So I do worry that Jay Manuel is kind of, I don't know, what is it called? Something with your nose to spite your face. He's doing that thing. And this will not help him in the long run. Sure, in the short term, he can sell, you know, thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of books, tens of thousands of books. But, you know, when that publishing money dries up and he needs to do something else, he might need to go through someone who has pledged allegiance to Tyra Banks and, you know, find himself outside, sorry, a bee just went by me, outside, locked outside of the industry for the rest of his career. Or maybe I'm just giving Tyra way too much credit. Guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.